On my way home from the rice fields, my steps felt light even though my body was a little tired. The morning air approaching noon was so fresh, and the distinctive aroma of wet mud mixed with grass filled the air, bringing a calmness that was difficult to express in words. Along the embankment, my gaze was drawn to the expanse of green rice fields, some of which were being cultivated by farmers. They worked enthusiastically, even though sweat was dripping down their bodies. In a corner, I saw a group of farmers resting under a shady tree. They sat in a circle on woven mats, some with their caping hats still on their heads. Some were wiping their faces with small cloths to wipe away sweat, while others were pouring water from jugs into bamboo glasses and then sharing it with others. Their faces looked tired, but there were smiles and laughter filling the atmosphere. I slowed down, wanting to observe longer. Their hands were rough, evidence of timeless hard work, but their hearts seemed warm and grateful. One of them was sharing simple food, rice parcels with simple side dishes. They ate heartily, as if their hunger could no longer be contained after hours of bending over to plant rice seedlings one by one into the mud. Small children ran around them, playing while laughing happily, their voices mixed with the gurgling water flowing in the irrigation channels. I remembered how hard the work of farmers was, but they still went through it all with extraordinary patience. Every drop of their sweat was part of the struggle to bring food to our tables. I stopped for a moment on the side of the road, letting the scene be etched in my memory, and I dared to ask their permission to see their work. At that time, I felt amazed and touched at the same time to see their enthusiasm. In the midst of all the limitations, they still shared with each other, strengthened each other, and enjoyed being together. There was a simple happiness that radiated from the way they enjoyed that short break. The sky began to change color, slowly turning gray, a sign that the clouds would soon arrive. I continued my steps trying to enter the middle of the rice fields to see other farmers who were still busy planting rice, farmers who were the backbone of life. Without them, we would not be able to enjoy rice, which is our daily staple food. Planting rice in my village is not just a routine job, but a tradition full of meaning. This tradition is carried out through mutual cooperation, involving farmers and village mothers who come voluntarily. There is no wage given in this activity, because everything is done on the basis of mutual assistance. The spirit of togetherness and mutual care are the strengths that continue to keep this tradition alive from generation to generation. Early in the morning, the farmers and mothers have gathered in the rice fields, bringing their respective equipment. Some of them carry hoes, others carry rice seeds that have been sown about 15 days earlier. With light steps, they walk along the rice field embankments that are wet with morning dew. The sound of laughter and light chatter can be heard, creating a warm atmosphere even though the morning air still feels cold. When the work begins, each person already knows their job. The men are usually in charge of hoeing the soil and preparing the rice field plots, while the mothers are in charge of planting the rice seeds one by one into the processed mud. They work in neat rows, their feet buried in the mud, but smiles never leave their faces. Although the work was tiring, the spirit of mutual cooperation made the burden feel lighter. When midday arrived, they stopped for a moment to rest. Under a shady tree on the edge of the rice field, the mothers opened the provisions they had been sent by the rice field owner. Simple foods such as rice, chili sauce, and simple side dishes were served in a friendly atmosphere. Everyone sat in a circle, sharing stories and laughter, while enjoying the food together. No tiredness could beat the happiness at that moment. This tradition of planting rice together not only lightens the workload, but also strengthens relationships between residents. In this way, every family that has a rice field can help each other, without having to think about additional costs for hiring labor. Today you help plant in your neighbor's rice field, tomorrow it's your own rice field that will be worked on together. And so on, until all the rice fields have been planted. However, more than just a farming activity, this tradition is also a moment to share stories, experiences, and even advice with each other. The mothers often talk about their daily lives, educating their children, or simply sharing news about what is happening in the village. Meanwhile, the men discuss things like the weather, the previous harvest, or plans for the next season. They don't care that their clothes are covered in mud, but there is a sense of satisfaction that cannot be expressed in words. This tradition not only produces rice as a source of food, but also fosters a strong sense of brotherhood among the villagers. For me, this tradition is one of the real manifestations of local wisdom that should be preserved. In an increasingly busy and individualistic world, Gotong Royong in my village is a reminder that true happiness does not come from what we have, but from what we share with others. This tradition is a valuable legacy that not only plants rice, but also plants invaluable life values. When the harvest comes, harvesting rice is also done through mutual cooperation. They also do not receive wages in the form of money. They only get a few pots of rice given by the rice field owners who have been helped. This mutual cooperation has been going on for decades, but they do it happily. This is a video of the beauty of my village. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and watch my other videos.